you to ask, because I don't know what we're going to talk about. So,
Okay, we're recording. Here we are. Hi, everyone. Maryanne Savino and Suzanne Lie. And we're here to discuss the current energies with the Galactics and see what it is they have to share with us about how to maintain peace in the midst of all the chaos in the world right now. And what are some of the things that we can do to bring about peace within ourselves, within our communities, and throughout the rest of the world. So we are in a time of incredible change, and it has not been easy. There's fires raging on the West Coast, and my heart goes out to all those who are living on the West Coast, who've lost their homes, who've lost family and friends, who or have no home to live in because it burnt down to the ground, and to also for the wildlife and Mother Nature herself. This is devastating. And then we have this pandemic going on that is also preventing us from really living our lives fully. And I know we have, this adversity in front of us, and we have to somehow navigate through it no matter what's happening. I'd like to hear what the Galactics have to say about these energies and what we can do for them, how to stay in our peace and our center, and what we can do to make it a better world. So do you want to say anything about that, Suzanne? Would you like?
yes, I was just tuning in to see who was coming in, and it was, of course, the Arcturians. So they've come in. So just let me get a moment to get connected fully with them. And then you can start by asking them a question. Okay, so just a second. Yes, the first thing that they said is to remind me to tune in more often, because as soon as I tuned in, I could feel a higher frequency of energy. So why don't you start by whatever questions you have, and then I will bring in the Arcturians to answer.
Okay, well, what I'd like to know is these fires, some people are asking whether or not they think they were, it was arson, that somebody actually started them. And I wonder if some of that is true. It may not be the case with all the fires in all the local, in the areas that are having them, but perhaps some of this wasn't just through nature, that perhaps some of it was started and created. And I'm wondering if they have anything to say about that.
Most of it was nature, but humanity had something to do with it, because humanity needed a wake-up call. Not that this was the wake-up call, or that the fires happened to have humanity have a wake-up call, but it was Gaia speaking and saying, I need more attention. And that isn't directly related to the fires. The fires are something that is not uncommon in that particular area of Gaia's planet. And the lack of rain and the buildup of, drier plants, whatever. And then it doesn't take much for it to go. And then once it starts, it goes. But what we, the Arcturians, would like to say is that humans can start with their higher dimensional interactions with self. Okay. And then that will just go. And it is like an antithesis. And And many humans have done heroic things to save Gaia's forests. And it shows how many really wonderful, well-trained, dedicated humans that there are. And the humans that live there, they're doing what they're told to do. They're not fighting it. They're, everyone is listening. And there is a great unity consciousness. And unfortunately, it's unity around something that is too horrible to hardly even think of.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a unity. So would you like to ask more about that, please?
Yes. So what is it that we can do with all of this going on within ourselves? How can we hold the peace within ourselves, the centering, while this is all going on? What are, like, for instance, we talk about our multidimensional self, what exactly is that? Like, what do the Arcturians want to say about the multidimensional self, and how we can live from that place of multidimensionality in a world that's in chaos right now? What's happening with the planet? What is happening to Gaia, Mother Gaia, as she's shifting, she's burning off? We're also in this pandemic where some people are still in this quarantine, lockdown, whatever. And is that helping her? I feel that it is, but what do they have to say about that?
Well, let's go to the first question that you had. Could you repeat that first question first?
About how is it that we can hold our center with all of this?
Yes, because that's the most important part, to hold one's center. And meditation is a very good way to hold one's center. Doing service to others is a very good way to hold one's center. And going inside and connecting with the higher frequencies of yourself will help you hold your center. Because humanity is a multidimensional being.
Right.
And during these times of great challenge, humanity is really being called upon to move into the higher and higher frequencies of their consciousness. And that is not that anything about this is good. There's nothing about this is good. However, people are learning that they are so much stronger than they thought they were, and that they can face fear bravely, and they can listen to what is important for them to hear, and to differentiate what is important to hear and what is not important to attend to. So they are also seeing that it is the now for humanity to think about their planet. Humanity has not been taking really good care of planet Earth.
No.
And this is not even just specifically for this time, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just that humanity got lost in basically money and fame, and I'm better, you're worse. Humanity got off track. And now getting off track is not really allowable, because that getting off track is far too dangerous to do. Everybody has to hone their skills. They have to pay attention. How much longer can I stay in this place? How can I get to another place? Can I get to another place? And not become a victim, because victims get scared, and it's difficult to make good decisions when one is frightened. And it's terrifying, and it's extremely frightening.
Yes.
And people are learning that they can be frightened and be strong and careful.
Fear is part of being human. I really think it's not so much the fear that's the problem, it's what we do with it. Are we
Yes.
letting ourselves experience it as it comes up and then let it move out, so that we're not avoiding it, but at the same time, we're not making it our identity that, oh, I have to be frightened all the time because this is happening.
Yes, and within this now, especially in the fire zones, people have to really differentiate between what their inner higher guidance is saying and what they wish it was. You know, they might want it to be that they could stay there, and they just want to stay there, and they don't want to leave, but that fear can say no, don't stay there. You need to get out of there now. And so looking at fear not as an enemy, but fear as a voice that says, this is what you need to do now. This is what's important for you to do now. And to listen to that voice and do what is important to do now.
Yeah. Okay. Now, can we talk about multidimensionality? Like, what is that for us? What do the Arcturians wish to say about multidimensionality? To live in a multidimensional way.
Multidimensionality is that everyone is more than just one person. Everyone has had many incarnations, especially within this now, because the creme de la creme said, okay, I have to take an Earth vessel now, because the planet is in trouble, and I need to take a form now. I need to go down and help. And so it's that knowing that you are called to assist. And there's so many different ways to assist, and there's not a right way or a wrong way to assist. But as the people go through that process of, how can I assist? What is it that I can do? That is such a wonderful experience for them to realize that they are acknowledging that not only can they help, but they have an obligation to help in some manner. That it is not just about this person or that person or this place or that place. This is huge.
Yeah, it is. We are definitely in a time of great change. I don't think any one of us expected it to be this way. I certainly didn't. We hear about the Ascension. We've known about it for quite some time. We've all been living it for quite some time, some of us longer than others. And I certainly never would have imagined life to be like this on planet Earth, what we're experiencing right now. And it's almost, in a sense, I want to say, it's showing me all you can do when all the chaos is going on, at least for now, is to surrender until it's time to take some kind of action. Because everyone talks about, well, we have to do this and we have to get this done and we have to make this happen and keep doing and keep going and keep doing. But that's the old system.
Yes.
And yes, we do have to certainly create change, because without taking some sort of action, then nothing will happen. But I think there's a time for that. And that's what I'm wondering, if the Arcturians I know time is different. We're here on the earth and we have what's called time. And in the other dimensions, there is no time. But with what we have going on down here, and we don't know where we're headed, because we have to be, in a sense, we're being, I don't want to say forced, but ushered into having to live in the moment more, because we don't do that so well. I wonder if they can say anything about, living in the moment with all that's going on, and what is it as things change, what is it that we can do with this change?
Well, living in the moment is a lot like meditation, because when one meditates, they go to a place at a special time. They go inside of themselves, they get centered, and they allow whatever messages are meant to come to them to come to them. And this is a time for people to put aside a cast in steel time and place, that you go to that place at that time and you settle in, and whatever kind of meditation or whatever you want to call it or however you want to do it, but within that time and in that place, you allow these higher frequencies of light to enter into your awareness. And you will feel these higher frequencies of light. You will feel them come into your body. And as you just relax into it, and as you breathe with it, you will feel these frequencies going up your body and down your body. And what you are doing is that you are turning on these higher abilities of your physical body that you never thought you had, but you always had, but you have to turn it on. And
So
so,
we've forgotten, in a sense, and now we're being brought to this place of remembering.
yes, because they have to.
Yeah.
They have to remember something. That choice is no longer there. And it's much like you see in stories about people that are in war zones, and they do these amazingly heroic things and save a whole bunch of people and do all these kinds of things and come back, and then they just fall down. They don't even know they did it. And everyone has that. Most people are using 10, 11% of their brains.
Yeah.
And this is the time to turn on the entire brain. And the way that you turn on the entire brain is that you go into a state of meditation within yourself. And you allow these higher feelings to come into you. Very often they come into the crown of your head. And so we'll ask all of you to take a moment and tune in to the crown of your head. Feel that. And then take a moment now, tune into your feet. So your feet are deeply grounded into Gaia. And of course, like maybe you're on the second or third floor, it doesn't matter, but you put it into, your attention is that you are connecting to and becoming one with the planet. And from there, keeping that connection to the planet, you take some long, slow, deep breaths and begin to move up your chakras and up your body, into your first chakra at the base of your spine, and then your second in your stomach, and your third, in your solar plexus, and then your heart chakra, and your throat chakra, and your third eye, and your crown. And then open up from your crown and allow the higher light to come into you. There is no right way or wrong way for the higher light to come into you. It is your way. And everyone can do this. All you need to do is to believe that you can do it. Believe. And so as you feel that crown of your head begin to tickle and feel your feet firmly grounded on the ground, that because it doesn't matter if you're up on the 10th story or out on the actual dirt, but it is your intention to ground to Mother Gaia. And Mother Gaia really, really needs her humans to assist her, because she has been attacked from so many different angles. And it is a now that humanity needs to remember that you are not just humanity. You are not just a third dimensional human being. You are also a higher dimensional being. And so now, keeping your feet deeply into the ground, allow yourself to go into the very core of Gaia. And you're going to go down the stairway, going down, down, down. And you would think it would get darker and darker, but instead it's getting lighter and lighter. And then it's like almost like a doorway opens, and you step through that doorway and you see that there are many beings. Some are humanoid, some are not humanoid, but they are the protectors of the planet. They are the protectors of the planet. And allow yourself to merge with these people. And you will see, as you suddenly feel that, oh, I need to merge with this person. And someone else will say, I need to merge with this person. Someone else will say, I need to merge with that person. And that is because you are merging with your own higher dimensional self. And as you merge with your own higher dimensional self, instantly your spinal column is straight and your feet are grounded and your third eye is opened, and you are remembering lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, like a quick movie show that you just wanted to go through and get the feelings of it, but you don't have time to watch the whole movie. But you pull up the times in which you were the most frightened, and you called to your own higher self, or you called into your heart, or you called into what felt like nothing. But when you called, you found that it wasn't nothing, because you got an answer. And to some version, the answer's always love yourself. Because how can you give love away if you don't have it within you? And so to love others, you need to love yourself.
That's beautiful.
And that forgiveness that you must give to yourself in order for you to love yourself, you must give that forgiveness to all of reality, even the coronavirus. Forgive that. Love that. Because we, the Galactics, we are speaking directly as the Galactics within this now. We, the Galactics, are fifth dimensional beings. And many, many of you, in fact, probably most of the people that have decided to listen to this message or to tune into this message, you have been called by your higher self. Because your higher self is saying, remember, you are much, much more than just a third dimensional being. You are a fourth dimensional being, and you are able to connect with the core of the earth, and you are able to connect with your starships and with your higher dimensional family. And as you connect above and ground yourself alone within this oneness, you know that alone is just an illusion of the third dimension. That everyone is communing with, connecting with everyone.
Wow. I would
And
like to add to that a beautiful blessing from the language of light from the Galactics. And this language is the language of the soul through the heart, a language of love. All you have to do is receive it, and don't worry about understanding it. It's not about the mind, it's more about the feeling. And this is
yes,
to help us come into our center, into our heart, through love, through forgiveness, and through being a human galactic being.
yes,
Arun tera she quaria tanu teir. Anturia sotal ave Arun ashe katur ir. Iran ut al ador e corondera un sarayitar. Hanturial ayesa tua iran us ashe lavoro. Iant arut et at kata. Makua iasur unda umea viaran. Avai, 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 aquara sentuara ia. Ashemodai iaranye searialai, aquara satua iatan. Akura iantan aseatona shetakwa. Apuan enveran urviran urian udir iarasa. Aqualayar aron oda odu ia iakuta. Mokarosa te ayara. To help you remember who you are. The beautiful beings of light, of love, who took on an earthly human vessel in an earthly human life to help assist with Mother Gaia. You are the ones that you seek to know in a very deep way, because you have forgotten as you came into the earth plane, you had to lower your frequency. But now you are coming back to the higher frequency of your soul's light, your soul's knowing. And in this process, it may sometimes feel rather uncomfortable. And to your human mind, it will not feel so good. But you can say to yourself, when you feel out of sorts, or if you feel doubt, my beautiful soul knows the way, and it is guiding me in exactly the way that I need to for this life. And no one is you, and no one can do what you came here to do. But together we create the wholeness of humanity as galactic beings. We leave you with that. And we love you and we appreciate you. And so it is. Blessed it is.
blessings. We, the Arcturians, send our blessings to each and every one of you, and know that we can and we will communicate with you. And all you need to do is put aside a certain time and a certain place. And when you do that, you build that energy field. And then once you are in that energy field, you relax and listen and feel and allow what your body to move in the way that it desires to body, and allow your thoughts to move into the higher frequencies of reality. And whatever comes out through your voice, allow it to come from your voice. And perhaps you don't understand it in your third dimensional self, but your higher dimensional self understands everything that you are doing and everything that you are saying.
That's beautiful. So I think that we are wrapping this up now. If there's anything else the Galactics wish to say or share, any last minute, or do you feel complete? See what they have to say.
What we would like to say in closing is that many of you can and do come to our ships during your sleep. Now, you don't remember that because it is so adverse to your third dimensional life that it's just too much. And so most people forget. But if you keep on doing it and keep on doing it, you will not think that it's too weird. You will not think that you're too weird. You will begin to feel a something that, wait, there is a something. And if you go to that same time, same place, you build that energy field. And then whatever you want to do, if you want to hold crystals, hold crystals. If you want to move your hands in a certain fashion, move your hands. If you want to go into a particular yoga posture, go into a yoga posture. If you want to lay still, lay still. It doesn't matter because it is you listening to yourself. And when you listen to yourself, then that opens the door for you listening to your higher self. And when you listen to your higher self, that opens the door to listening to an even higher self. And it goes on and on. There is no limitation. Limitation is an illusion of the third dimension.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, beautiful galactic beings. And thank you, Suzanne, for coming in to do this with us. And to everyone watching, listening, we thank you. We're sending you lots of love, and remember who you are. Remember you are a divine being. If you forget, place your hands on your heart and just say, I am a divine being. I am remembering that I am a divine being. And we send you lots of love and lots of light and many blessings.
Yes. Blessings to you all. Blessings to you all.